Welcome to the Speakers Practice and our Friday Forum. Hi, I'm Adrian McLean, the founder of the Speakers Practice. The Friday Forum is for business people. This is a free 30-minute session where you will meet amazing business professionals who have experience in a wide variety of topics. You will hear fabulous approaches from experts in their field. This is a free 30-minute session. In the marketing system I use, Book Yourself Solid, this webinar is an always have something free to offer event, where you will meet amazing specialists with real life experience and usable advice. We're thrilled to have Cheryl Alderman with us today. Hi Cheryl.
Hi Adrian.
Cheryl is a business coach, mentor and facilitator. Cheryl is the owner of Be Ultimate. Cheryl's industry experience includes retail, government, finance, education and information technology. She has an extensive range of skills, particularly in the areas of business growth, customer service, people management and communication. With a wealth of life experience and business savvy, Cheryl offers clients a friendly, supportive ear and a genuine desire to serve, combined with effective and tangible results. After studying psychology and sociology courses and then training with the Coaching Institute in Melbourne, Cheryl created Be Ultimate in 2012. The goal was to assist individuals and business owners to recognise their true potential, overcome their self-doubt and insecurities, release negative emotions, and enjoy the success and fulfilment they deserve. Cheryl loves her chosen path of coaching, and it shows. She took on the role of group mentor and facilitator for the North Shore She Business Group in Sydney in 2013 and uses her passion and experience to empower women in business to achieve even greater success and fulfilment. Cheryl believes Be Ultimate because the ordinary is overrated. Wow, Cheryl, that's quite a resume there.
Thanks Adrian. It's really nice of you to have me on. I'm looking forward to this morning.
Today's topic is the similarities and differences between the corporate world and small business, and I'm sure this will be of interest to many businesses out there, so let's get started.
Absolutely, let's go.
Right, well our first question is, what are the main differences you see in the challenges faced by corporate and small businesses?
Okay, that's a great question, Adrian. I'm in the fortunate position that I work 50% with corporate and about 35% of my work is with small business. So I get to see right inside what's going on in both of those scenarios. One of the biggest differences I find is that in corporate there's definitely a lack of control of what's going on. They're employees. They're not in control of the decision making a lot of the time, and even at senior management level they are not normally the owners of the business, so the total control of what's going on isn't in their hands. Whereas in small business, 90% of the decisions, if not 100, are in the hands of the business owner, and they actually have control over what's going on in their business. One of the other things that's a big difference is the financial pressure. In corporate, whether you love your job, hate your job, you're busy, you're not busy, you're still getting paid. So you know that money is coming in. Small business in particular, cash flow can be a real issue for them, and they don't necessarily know from week to week how much money is coming in, if any. So the financial pressures involved are very different. And probably the other main one is that people in corporate don't have the emotional connection a lot of the time to what they're doing. It's a job and they might love their job, but it's still somebody else's business, and small business, it's their business. So anything that happens, they take it personally. It's about them.
So there are some huge differences between the two worlds.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. but a lot of similarities too.
So that brings us up to our next question, which is what are the challenges faced by both the corporate world and the small business world?
Great question, Adrian. And look, we've almost got there on our own anyway, so that's quite funny. Look, there are a lot of similarities. I've just mentioned some of the differences, but there are probably more similarities than people realise. We're all human beings, so whether we're earning $300,000 a year, $10 million a year, or $22 an hour, the issues are often the same. And business owners and corporates are no exception to that. So obviously, as a coach, one of the issues that I come up with over and over again is stress and pressure. Like, people are feeling stressed, people are feeling pressure to perform to other people's standards, to perform to their own standards, to get everything done. And I often say to people, especially if you live in Sydney, which a lot of my clients do, obviously, if you live in Sydney, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're stressed. It's pretty difficult to even get from home to your business or your job in a Sydney traffic or public transport system without getting stressed on the way. We're a high-powered city. We're a speed-orientated city. Everything here is fast. Everything's in a hurry. Everybody's in a rush. Nobody has enough time. So before you even get to your place of employment or your business premises, there's already stress happening in your head before you've even got there. So, and then of course you've got the pressures and the stress of what's going on in that environment. So that's a very common factor. I do a lot of work with both types of clients around stress management, stress release, and some really tangible tools and lifestyle changes they can make to actually bring down their stress levels. Heart disease, as you know, is one of the top killers of executives. The rate of heart attacks is extremely high, and stress is a major factor in that. I suspect that small business owners are probably not far behind, I hate to say, but yeah, we work really hard on helping both of those groups with that. One of the other issues that comes up a lot, which kind of follows in from the stress, is time management and priority management. So there is actually a difference between time management and priority management. Time management is very much about fitting everything into the day, and those issues are the same in corporate and in small business. Everybody's working way too long hours compared to what we did 15, 20 years ago, and the expectation in corporate it's to be there, and in small business it's I have to be there, getting things happening. So a lot of work around time management, priority management, how to delegate effectively, how to outsource effectively, how to find more effective systems and procedures to input to your day to save time. And look, we're lucky these days, we have some amazing technologies that we're able to bring into people's work day and help with exactly that. So it's not even just necessarily method, it can be bringing in different technologies to facilitate giving them more time in their day and helping them prioritise what they do have to do. And not lose track of things as well. So a lot of it's around organisation as well within that spectrum. Another thing they all have in common is obviously they're all looking to improve their reputations, gain exposure, and bring in connections and clients and contacts into their world that aren't there already. So on the corporate side, obviously they're in the business of marketing the business they're working for. Often they are an advertisement for their own firm, so they need to get out and about and do networking and so on, and be meeting people they don't know. So So usually there's quite a bit of work around that, and small businesses are exactly the same. Their business depends on them growing their reach. It depends on them having a credible reputation and people knowing about them. So that's one thing they both share is, the networking side and getting out there and exposing themselves to the greater business community. Not everyone's comfortable with that. So there's always plenty to talk to when we're looking at that.
In the corporate world, they can get more support because there tends to be more financial support there. With small business, do they get enough? Is there enough support around to help them achieve their goals?
That's a really great question, Adrian. I actually had a discussion about that just this week with a small business owner who came to chat with me. There are actually an awful lot of government grants for small businesses that the small businesses are unaware of. And I don't know if you've ever been onto the government sites, but they're pretty hard to negotiate as a general rule. So I have a really great accountant that I refer my clients to who is very savvy when it comes to small business loans, and I think most accountants are. So if you're a small business and you have an accountant, talk to them about what small business loans are available from the government and grants that are available. You would be surprised, there's actually quite a range. And I suspect that probably 95% of small businesses don't know they're there, so your chances of getting one are actually quite high. But yeah, corporate do have the financial support. And look, if you're out networking on behalf of your corporate business, they're paying the costs, they're paying your travel, they're paying the attendance fees and so on. Whereas for a small business, obviously they have to fork that out for themselves, and that's definitely a factor in their decision-making process for choosing networking events.
Well, let's get on to the next question, which is, what are the best approaches and methods for raising awareness and attracting business in the corporate world and for small business?
Okay, well that's a good one. So we're kind of talking marketing here, I guess.
Yes.
Look, obviously you're aware, and some of the people listening might be, that I'm very active on social media for my own business. And that's something that both small business and corporate are becoming much more engaged with. It's quite a scary idea for a lot of them, and they need a lot of spoon feeding and hand holding. But it's definitely a crucial part of getting yourself out there for both corporate and small business, and there's right ways and wrong ways of doing it. So I think that's what some of the fear is around. Obviously networking, which we've already touched on, and also, getting out and getting yourself, in environments where you're exposed to larger groups of people. For example, presenting, being a keynote speaker at different events, and obviously something you're a big component of, video marketing. Video's the new hero online. Google loves it. It definitely raises the ranking on websites and personal profiles big time. So, at the moment, that's probably one that's very relevant for both groups. And blogging as well, blogging and getting articles in, online publications and offline publications, magazines, newspaper articles, being seen out and about, being a credible expert in your area, whether it's for a corporate business or for your own.
So this is our fourth question, which is, what are some easy and effective ways to make sales without having to act salesy and without having to resort to making any hypey claims to both the corporate and small business sector?
Oh, really great question. I was on a radio interview recently, and I inadvertently, made the statement that I actually don't like elevator pitches. I really don't. And I had never actually said that out loud before, so I'm saying it again today. I'm really not a fan of the 60 seconds elevator pitch. I think if you can limit what you do and what your company does to 60 seconds, you are probably eliminating 90% of your market, because you're obviously eliminating 90% of what you do if you're cutting it down to that finer piece. People don't want to hear a pitch. People don't want to hear, but wait, there's more, you know. I think we're all a bit over that. The American market loves that schmaltzy, you know, high volume, yes, let's all get on board and bring up this number now kind of thing. Australians really don't. We're pretty laid back. We're much more genuine when it comes to what we want and what we don't want. I think we know if we want something and we know if we don't, but we're quite willing to listen if someone's talking to us rather than talking at us. So the advice I tend to give clients is authenticity is the word you want to really attach yourself to. Be yourself, be real, be genuine. And if you believe in what you do and believe in the business you're representing, that's going to shine through without all of that other stuff. And, you know, people ask me all the time, you know, how did you get so successful? Because, you know, there's a lot of coaches out there who are really battling. And my honest answer is I just get out and about and be me, you know, and I talk to people and I listen to people. And if I can, I give them a hand. And so people have got to know that, you know, I am who I am, and they're not going to come into the office and meet some other different version of me that's going to try and get them to book in for 5 more things over the next 2 weeks kind of thing. It doesn't work that way. I really am a component of attracting clients rather than selling to clients. And I think with the advent of social media and the way the markets are now, people are more interested in what other people say about you and who refers you and you know what the buzz is about your business than they are about what you have to say. So, you know, it's really more about you being you and having conversations and making connections, whether it be online or face-to-face or through your marketing, but actually connecting rather than selling. Did that answer the question? I think it did.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it doesn't really matter if it's in the corporate world or in small business. Business is business.
That's right, absolutely. And it's really important for small business to remember that when they're out and about, because although they are their business and it is personal, it's really important that they conduct themselves professionally and remember that when they are out and about, they're representing their business. And for corporates, you know, the amount of times I've been at events and ended up, you know, chatting to someone who's had a couple too many drinks at an event. Really not a great move in either scenario, small business or corporate. You're representing your business and people are making impressions based on how you represent yourself in both scenarios. So it's really important that people know how to present themselves verbally, you know, have good language skills, listening skills, and, you know, carry themselves in a way that's professional regardless of what the situation is. And, you know, the good old corporate box at the footy is a great example. You know, it's all great bonding and we, you know, everyone has a few beers and yee-haws and so on, but people will remember the next day if you were the idiot that pushed it too far or you were the one that said a bit too much, because if they're a client, how are they to know that the next time you're at someone else's event, you're not going to say too much about their account or their people, you know? So yeah, very, very relevant that they carry themselves well, speak well, listen to the people that they're engaging with and ask intelligent questions.
Thank you, Cheryl. So now we go on to our 5th question, which is as a trainer and a mentor and a coach and a professional speaker, what's your advice about promoting your business by speaking?
Do it as much as possible. Oh look, Adrian, I have to say I'm in the 1% of the population who's actually in comfort zone at the front of the room. I love it. The more people I'm talking to at once, the more energy I have, and the more I enjoy myself. So I know, that was nuts. I know for a fact that I'm not the norm on that account. However, I do also know that if you can get in front of a large room and present yourself well, it sells your business without you trying. I never sell when I'm in front of a room. I present, I talk about whatever my topic is, and I engage with my audience as much as possible. And then that sells me for me. I don't have to scout a product at the end. I don't have to give them a U-Butte free offer, when I'm done, because if I've done my job well, they are absolutely loving what I've given them and they want more, and they will come and find me or book me to come back, as the case may be. So I very, very much encourage people to get at the front of the room, and you don't have to be great at it straight away. I think often if you stumble or mess something up, it actually engages you even more to your audience. Have you got time for a little story?
Yes, go ahead.
I often trot this one out when I'm presenting. I was presenting at an event once and I foolishly wore white pants to this particular event, and we ate beforehand, and I managed to glop a big blob of beetroot onto my white pants. So as you can imagine, you can't just kind of wash out a beetroot stain and it's all good. And so I was introduced, I went to the front of the room, and it was the elephant in the room. There was no point in trying to hide it. So I basically walked up the front, and before I even kind of introduced myself properly or said hello, I pointed straight at the big purple stain on my leg and said, "Look what I just did, I can't believe it." And of course the whole room laughed with me, and then all these lovely people in the room started shouting out, "Oh, you need to do this, oh, you need to do that," suggestions for me on how to get the beetroot stain out of my pants. So before I'd even started my presentation, I had everybody in that room on my side, because they could relate. Everybody's done something silly, everybody's spilt something on themselves at some time, and instead of feeling awkward and uncomfortable for me, they were backing me. They were wanting me to succeed because I'd come out there with a handicap, and everybody loves an underdog, So often your mistakes or your trip-ups are actually the thing that will get people on board the most. Who doesn't love the bloopers at the end of the movie?
Yes.
So again, that's the authenticity thing. So I would really, really encourage people, get in the bigger crowds, get in the bigger rooms. If you're a bit scared, start off with small groups. Start running some little workshops or something like that where you can get people in the room, or little promo days where people can come in and out during the day and have a look around your business. If you're in corporate, they do that all the time. They have little events or shows or expos where people can come and wander through. It's a great way to capture a group of people at once and really impress them with your authenticity so that they actually want more.
Fantastic advice, thank you. So that brings us to your time where you can introduce Be Ultimate and what you do and what your services are offered from Be Ultimate.
Okay, thanks Adrian. Well, we are a business coaching and mentoring business located in St Ives. I work, like I said, about 50% with corporate, so executive coaching one-on-one, and also workshops and group presentations in the corporate world, especially related to team development and communication. We offer profiling services, we offer stress management workshops, big picture creative thinking workshops, all sorts of workshops for teams of corporates, and one-on-one executive coaching, because as I said, that stress and that pressure is there big time. And then on the small business side, we have a range of coaching and mentoring packages for small business. we can either have the intensive, get that business happening in a 10-step program in 10 weeks, bam, get it happening, take it up to that next level, for the people that are really ready for a fast-forward, action-packed business boost. And then we have the gentler version in the business mentoring packages, which are a lot more hand-holding, a lot more, kind of gently moving through all the areas in the business and working out how we can get that business really happening and making money for them long term without burning them out along the way. So they are probably the two areas that we focus on the most. We have a career coach on board who works with people who are looking at changing position, retrenchments, or change of industry, and she's fabulous. Her name's Leanne. So we have that branch to the business as well. But my particular focus tends to be the group presentations, and obviously I do keynote speaking as well. So if anyone's looking for a speaker at their event, I love talking about networking at networking events. It's a really good place to be talking about networking because then everyone can go implement all the things they've learned. So I'm available for that as well. Our website is beultimate.com.au. You'll also find us Be Ultimate Business and Be Ultimate Life on Facebook, and also on Twitter at Ultimate Shezza.
Thank you, Cheryl. It's been such a formative session and discussion, and you really raised some amazing points there. And I hope for the corporates and the small business people out there that they take your advice and look for stress management approaches. And loved your session on the presenting side. I think that will really. So thank you so much. So we're finishing up the Friday Forum today, and then our next session is on the 17th of October. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye.